Good evening, everyone. I'm a minute early just to make sure this actually works. Let's find out in just a moment. Hey, John, can you hear me? Can you hear the music? Hey, Nick. John, how's that for the music and my vocals? Because, of course, I'm getting a little verklempt now. Gonna roll it back just a little bit. Hey, everybody, it's 7 o'clock, and I'm going to get started here. What you're hearing, of course, is Forky Ad's tune. It's my theme music that I use whenever I would give this poetry reading in Second Life in the guise of Forky Ad Acropolis, the Avatar, who actually will be broadcasting at Starport Omega, Progressive Rock, tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern. But in the meantime, I wanted to jump on here and try this Facebook Live thing. I'm seeing other people doing it, seeing lots of musicians doing it. I don't need the money. I'm not busking for me. But if you want to toss some money into my PayPal account, I think I have it listed there. I will make sure everything goes to the Westmoreland County Food Bank because I think people are probably needing things just about now. So any money you throw my way to the Westmoreland County Food Bank. Yes, Karen, you see a green screen. Hello, Mary. Hello, Susan. I'm going to try to say hello to people as you come in between poems, but I'm going to kind of just jump right in here with my first piece, and it's called I, Prometheus. And a couple of years ago, I was writing a lot of poems, and I suddenly realized that sometimes when you write a poem or a song, it's almost like you're reading or writing a monologue for a character. And so I thought, I'm going to write a monologue for Prometheus. So this first piece is called I, Prometheus. I, Prometheus, with eyes half closed and labored breathing, attempt to sleep for just a moment. To slip into slumber, relax for an incalculable time. Perhaps to dream and let my mind rest and wander from my body. My body, chained to this rock, punished for my crime of bringing enlightenment to those who needed it and deserved it. A simple giving act for which I spend eternity chained to this rock. To those who receive the gifts of fire and knowledge, live any better for receiving this gift. Daily, the eagle, sent by Zeus, comes to tear at my flesh, to slash at my flesh with claws and talons, to tear at my insides with talons and beak, to devour my liver, leaving me to heal, my body still chained to this rock. The eagle reminds me daily of my act. Is to remind me daily of my crime. But it was no crime. It was no sin. And I will never repent. And even if I did repent, the eagle would still return daily and tear at my flesh daily. My waking hours spent healing, my nighttime hours wishing for a minute's rest, a moment's sleep, but never to forget my body and this rock and these chains forever. And that is I, Prometheus, the story of the Titan who gave man fire and knowledge and, of course, was chained up as a result by the King of the Gods. We actually did a production of that in Second Life a few years ago. The video's on YouTube if anybody wants to check it out. If you got some free time, who knows, you know. On that topic, I hope you're all doing well. It's been great to contact people through Zoom or whatever these days and get in touch with people. Because we're not supposed to go out. So we can be in here and hopefully I will entertain you for the next 54 minutes. Here's another poem. It's called Childhood Paradise Lost. And I think you'll get the idea of what it's all about. Remnants in the ashtray, smoldering, still smoking. The harshest wisps are choking. Embers and charcoal ashes, dust and rusty whispers. As a child, I chased the fireflies. I spun in the center of a spark tornado, capturing light itself in my jar. Storing their light for another night, but the glow faded as they died. And today, every June, I walk into my garden to search for them again. There's a drizzle on a good night, but never a storm of light. Then I look up to gaze into the night sky, but I see only a grayness, where once I saw woven a tapestry of constellations. The diamonds of the sky have lost their luster. Starlight paled by the lights of the city, and by our brightly glowing handheld screens, our modern method of capturing the magic light in our hands. But where has that magic light of childhood gone? Childhood's Paradise Lost. Hello, Justin Gall. Names from my past. Very scary. Karen, thank you. This is from England. Anyway, so I wanted to make the pitch one more time. I'll keep doing this. If you tip me during the show, or anytime really, 4acropolis@gmail.com. All proceeds go to the Westmoreland County Food Bank because I'm busking, but I don't need it myself. I'm not a starving artist. I still have a job. We're teaching online all the time, so it's a lot of fun. This next piece was inspired by Mephistopheles in Christopher Marlowe's Dr. Faustus. And one of the things that Mephistopheles says that hell is wherever God isn't. So I thought about his relationship to God and came up with this. So long, centuries, since I gazed upon your face, that smile of eternal love now denied me. Is it the space that keeps us apart, or is it time? In an instant, I could again stand by your side. I shudder as the memory of your eyes pierces deep into my soul. My pride prevents me from returning your call, your offer of forgiveness. I need only assent, but I resist. And so I live in my hell, surrounded by so many others, tortured by their own private fears, unaware of the pain I feel, banished from your view. So I'm just going to say that a lot of my pieces are a little depressing. The funnier ones come later, especially the 7 Deadly Sins in the retirement home. So be sure to stick around for that one. So what's going on in the world is crazy. I don't think it's quite the end times. We're going to get through this. But if you remember back in 2011, everybody thought, well, 2012 really, because it was December, everybody thought the world was going to end in December 2012. And because the Mayan said so, right? The Mayan calendar ran out. And I had a friend who actually hoped for the end of the world back in 2012. And he was kind of disappointed it didn't happen. Hey, welcome now. So anyway, tell me if it's too soon, but this is called The Ballad of the 2012 Believer. And this is dedicated to the person who wanted the world to end in 2012. Yeah. So picture yourself in January of 2013. It's January 1, 2013. I didn't think that I'd be here today. The Christians and the Mayan all said that we'd be dying, ending life in this new century. A future without hope, human has-beens, black holes and earthquakes would send us all away. Mayans and Nostradamus, what an ignoramus. How disappointing is prophecy. Now I'm sitting here on this empty keg of beer. The only thing to fear is the absence of all fears. I thought for death I'd beg while sitting here on this keg, but the keg is all tapped out and I'm still here. I should have planned ahead just in case. It didn't all come crashing down. Should have kept an eye on the horizon. Nearsighted looking was just wrong. Nearsighted looking was just wrong. Things are worse than ever, all pundits claim. But every generation says that too. The Jews and fundamentals said we'd be transcendental, and we'd be drinking from the Holy Grail. It's a wintry day, there's no sign of a flame. No divine judgment, just avian flu. The Buddhists with samsara said there'd be a tomorrow. As I sit and ponder this awesome, epic fail. Should have planned ahead just in case it didn't all come crashing down. Should have kept an eye on the horizon. Nearsighted looking was just wrong. Nearsighted looking was just wrong. Without any savings or an IRA, hey Scott, it's my own private Armageddon day. Everyone on earth has been left behind. Why in heaven can God be so unkind? In the cold light of dawn, I should sober up. Nothing left but sorrow now is in my cup. Standing up, shuffling out with the zombie mob, I'd better go out and look for a job. Should have planned ahead just in case it didn't all come crashing down. Should have kept an eye on the horizon. Nearsighted looking was just wrong. Nearsighted looking was just wrong. Now I'm sitting here on this empty keg of beer. The only thing to fear is the absence of all fears. I thought for death I'd beg while sitting here on this keg, but the keg is all tapped out and I'm still here. Yes, it's all tapped out. There's not a drop remaining. Not even a little bit of foam. And damn it, I'm still here. And that, of course, is the ballad of the 2012 Believer, dedicated to the person who actually wanted the world to end in 2012. He never gets what he wants, at least not at the time. I wonder if this is my audition for Rozfest. George Roldan, I see, is here. Also saw Dennis and Jason drop in just as I'm singing One of our best singers we have around the area, Cindy Ortiz, popped in, so now I'm really embarrassed. And Glenda, hello. Originally from Greensburg, now living elsewhere, but I met her in Second Life. Such a weird thing. Here's another dark piece. And this is inspired by one of those mass shootings that happens all the time, way too often. And I keep thinking about to take this out of my rotation, and then they just keep happening. So here it is again. Grabbed his rifle. False start. It's live. What the heck? Grabbed his rifle. Walked out the door. Knew he wouldn't come back no more. He looked around with confident glance. His 45 tucked in his pants. Plenty of ammo. Several guns. Could kill a full convent of nuns. He looks around, behind his shades, the last shred of self-control fades. Was it his love life? Was it his job? Did he get bad service at the stop and rob? Was he punished too often by his dad? We'll never know what finally drove him mad. He knows they're all his enemies. Their sinner's blood splashes the trees. Watches the blood spattering round. Watches bodies, they all fall down. Was it his love life? Was it his job? Did he get bad service at the stop and rob? Was he punished too often by his dad? We'll never know what finally drove him mad. Comes the moment, he shouts goodbye. Like a movie, says time to die. Turns the pistol right to his head. Pulls the trigger, he joins the dead. Was it his love life? Was it his job? Did he get bad service at the stop and rob? Was he punished too often by his dad? We'll never know what finally drove him mad. Found his body, checked his ID, then searched his house for identity. He left a note for all to see. Off on Rampage, see on TV. Was it his love life? Was it his job? Did he get bad service at the stop and rob? Was he punished too often by his dad? But we'll never know what finally drove him mad. And that one is called On a Rampage. Once again, I'd love to take that one out of the repertory, but again, it happens too often. So I'm seeing a lot of artists popping on Facebook Live, various places, busking for tips. And I'm not going to discourage you from tipping me, but anything you send me will go to the Westmoreland County Food Bank because I think there are people out there who are going to need it. So I think up in the announcement is my email address for PayPal. So send me cash and, send me PayPal money and I'll forward it on to the Westmoreland County Food Bank. This next one is kind of recent. I just had an image of this guy walking the streets with an umbrella. Maybe it's a little too real for right now. Let's find out. The Umbrella Man. The Umbrella Man goes everywhere under his open umbrella, looking all around him as he walks in the glow of the moon. Strolling the streets, he just passes people by, grazing their emotions for only a moment. Sadness is a constant in this inner city flytrap. They landed, but there's no escape. Cardboard bedding, shopping cart trailers, sleeping together makes a warm double wide. No words spoken, asking for money. No need to read the sign if you read the face. A homeless child clutches her doll. Her side-ad puppy stares, both orphaned by the town's uncaring. So many young people, pierced with problems, tattooed by trouble, hope abandoned in this urban purgatory. Caffeine and regret flow through the veins of the third shift workers returning from break. The Umbrella Man stops and glances down an alley. A young woman lies almost unconscious, battered and bruised, her closed eyes pleading, squeezing the last tears from her life. Salty irrigation dries, leaving a trace of the minerals in her makeup. The child inside her never lived long enough to hear its own heartbeat. The Umbrella Man notes the dim glow of her soul, and as it fades away, he moves on. And that is The Umbrella Man. Welcome to James O'Neill, another of my former students, and Joyce. Hello, how are you? So, doing some poems here, and this one is, I'm trying to get all the depressing ones out in the first half hour, and then we'll get a little lighter. But I don't know if this one's depressing or not. This comes out of an experience I had in New York. I was in a cab with two other people, and the cab driver pulled up to a red light, stopped, and got out of the cab and just ran across the street. And we just sat there going, what do we do? What do we do? And suddenly he came running back, threw a Pepsi on the passenger side with a straw. Light turned green. We drove off. And from that moment, I realized that anything can happen in a New York cab. So this one is called So Relaxed. I'm never so relaxed as I am in a New York cab. Anything can happen, suddenly and without warning, from any direction. So I just let go and relax. Now, if only I could do that with the rest of my life. Because you just never know. Your tire blows out while going 70. Another driver had too much to drink. Someone's brain, cooked on cell phone, microwaves, and antidepressants, goes berserk and starts shooting in your direction. It could happen anytime. So we have to enjoy life when we can. Experience things that present themselves, live life fully, and appreciate each moment. Because we might be dead in 10 minutes. Happy ending to that one. Here's a little more serious, but serious but more inspiring, I hope. This is called The Lighthouse. There are times in our lives when we, completely overwhelmed, feel about to drown in the strong currents that engulf us. We need to plan for and see the future, but keeping our heads above water as we gasp for air, for life, takes all our conscious thought. And those thoughts weigh us down, so we think we cannot stay afloat. To surrender seems so easy, but to surrender is to lose not only our own lives, but the warmth and love of others. Look, my love, to the horizon where the lighthouse stands. It shines a light for you to focus on, to show you there is still life. And that light beam emanating from the tower is the light of my love, seeking your rescue, to find you and guide you through the waves you are caught in. You may fall peril to drowning again, like this time, but I know, like the last time, you will emerge safe. My faith in you is boundless. My belief in you is endless. Please don't lose hope. Please don't lose faith. Don't let others shake you. Turn your eyes to the tower and to my shore, and let me rescue you. So just a technical note real quick. All the music you're hearing, I created in GarageBand out of loops. So not original music, but the way you get to put them together can be a little original. It's kind of fun. Christopher Robin just joined us. Welcome. Again, I'm doing this because why the heck not? And I've done poetry readings in Second Life. More about that in just a moment. But I am asking that if you like what you see and you want to tip me to the address in the announcement, I will not keep that, but I'm going to pass it on to the Westmoreland County Food Bank to make sure that people are getting fed in this time of crisis. I hope you're all doing okay. It's crazy out there, but we're doing okay. Hey, Jenna. So moving on. This one is called my Second Life poem because when you're in Second Life, you're an avatar, and you're not really in real life. You're not really in Second Life in a way because you're in both. So I wrote, like a ghost. I'm like a ghost, trapped between worlds, a part of neither, comfort in none. No more I live, yet not passed on, trapped by memories, fearful of hope. Can't relinquish the life I know. A new life beckons, frightens, unknown. I sense clearly all that's around, the smells, the feelings, I hear all sounds. I see clearly, but I can't touch. With transparent hands, the pain still hurts. I'm like a ghost, trapped between worlds. I am pulled by both, belong to none. What do I feel? I cannot feel. Anything I know, it makes no sense. I find no rest. I'm torn both ways, driven by no wind, directionless. My choice is clear, to live in both, but that's the choice that keeps me trapped. Trapped between worlds. I'm like a ghost. I'm like a ghost. So I guess my favorite insect is the firefly, the lightning bug. Used to catch them as a kid. I feel so bad about that now. I never see as many as I want to, as reflected in the earlier poem. This one is called My Firefly. You entered my life, a brilliant light, blazing so brightly that you diminished even the sun. Basking in your glow, all traces of darkness burned from my soul. But the shadow of time has crept upon us and changed everything, and you are now but a distant firefly, who winks on and off occasionally in the darkness, in the periphery of my vision, awakening thoughts of the past with each vague glimpse. I'm not always sure I see you. I turn to focus, but you are not there where I expected. Of course, I hope that your faint and cold light is instead a shiny spark, a tiny spark that can rekindle my life, can relight our love, and we will burn again with transcendent radiance. But the doubt in the darkness is strong to extinguish that dim hope. And years ago, I produced a book of poetry called Silent Oracle, and this is the title piece from that book. Cassandra spoke, but no one listened, refusing to believe and finding only sorrow. Oracles consulted, results negated, victims flying their fates and finding them as foretold. Do we oracles have to speak? What if we remain silent? Those who visit remain in ignorance either way. Can a teacher be a teacher if no one will learn the lesson? What role has the one who enlightens if the listener seeks only darkness? And do I have mature insight and wisdom? Or is it just cynicism? That is a silent oracle, kind of a satire on teaching, perhaps, you might say. Needed a drink of water before this one, so I heard the term serial monogamist a few years ago, and I thought, what a great title for a piece. So I wrote this, and for those of you who know me, oh, by the way, hello, Bryn. Hi, Mia. And once again, just want to give the pitch. So if you like what you're seeing, tip me to my email address with PayPal, and hey, Shirley, and I will forward that on to the Westmoreland County Food Bank. I'm busking for food, but not for me. So, and I hope you're all doing okay out there. Let me know in the comments. Hey, Bryn. So anyway, so this is called Serial Monogamy. I'm going to clear my throat for this one because this one is intense. Here we go. Oh, and of course I'm into progressive rock, so I have a lot of really long intros. This is one of those. So this piece is a mix of 3 genres. It's a little bit funk, a little bit country, and yes, a little bit western. And this is not autobiographical. Met my first wife in a line dance. Love at first sight. Fell into love's trance. Found her to be an amazing chick. She was skilled with many a trick. Found lots of ways to ensnare my heart. Monogamy, pledged never to part. But soon it soured, seems it would not last, till death to part was a thing of the past. And her best friend was there just for me. I vowed my love, more monogamy. No one can accuse me of misogyny. I've never committed bigamy. Jail me for love in the first degree. I'll only plead guilty to serial monogamy. Divorce final. I'm married again. Vow asunder, but fixed. Amen. A fourth one then came to steal my heart. She broke my life and my marriage apart. I wed her then. What else would I do? My faithfulness always makes love true. No one can accuse me of misogyny. I've never committed bigamy. Jail me for love in the first degree. I'll only plead guilty to serial monogamy. It's true that we broke up, but then can't live alone, so we wed again. So I'm on wife number 5 or 4. Depends on how you add up the score. The ball and chain, they make me feel free. It is serial monogamy. No one can accuse me of misogyny. I've never committed polygamy. Jail me for love in the first degree. I'll only plead guilty to serial monogamy. I'll only plead guilty to serial monogamy. I'll only plead guilty to serial monogamy. Yeah, serial monogamy. So sometimes I do poems that are kind of a monologue of a character, and sometimes there's a long story to be told, and this next one is one of those things. It occurred to me that what if, as they're aging, the 7 deadly sins, need to go to the nursing home. So here we are. The 7 deadly sins take early retirement. The 7 deadly sins are here, but all are looking worse for wear. Some of them are missing teeth, and all have thinning hair. Pride is tired and feels like manure. Once commanding, now he's insecure. Where once he'd be all puffed up to boast, now his self-assurance is toast. He hides his face and tastes the gall. Pride has taken quite the fall. Always at the front of battle, treating everyone just like chattel. Now anger wobbles on shaky legs, treads as if he's walking on eggs. Never rushes in when he can shamble. Focused motions are all a scramble. Greed was always acquisitive. Now he is inquisitive. Gold was always such a honey. Now he forgets, where is my money? His pockets emptied except for the lint. His condition has nothing to do with mint. No finer diner wearing spats. Gluttony's tastes could not be beat. A combo of cholesterol and trans fats made him abandon all red meats. Once he spent time quaffing and chewing, now it's those calories he's eschewing. Not to mention that gluttony changed his name now to gluten-free. Lust's just not what she used to be. The youthful bloom is so long gone. She's more prick than she is rosy. Been a long time since her dawn. Desire and eros eroded away. She trembles just from cold today. No longer does he seem to mind how often he is now confined. Once the grass was always greener, envy's desires are now much leaner. With diapers starting to droop to his knees, he hopes he can make it to the WC. Perhaps for Sloth nothing has changed. He hasn't moved and lies quite still. Reduced the field where once he ranged from almost nothing down to nil. All remains static for Mr. Sloth, except for toenail and eyebrow growth. The earth was their oyster and their pearl, all the continents and seas they'd roam. Who'd think the 7 deadly sins would ever end up in a nursing home? The 7 deadly sins checked in retirement like a roach motel. They see the hand of death beckon and hear the final tolling bell. All right, coming down to the last 3 now. And this next one, this one's always kind of amused me. It's called My Private Dancer. And as we go along, first of all, I want you to try to figure out what the topic is. And secondly, during the break, at about 1:39 in, get up and dance. You'll see where it is. My Private Dancer. Long intro. Long silken flowing hair, raven dark, satin skin, unadorned, blemish free. She's my private exotic dancer. Every rhythmic movement is just for me. Her swaying and undulating hips offer a promise, echoed by lips. Her movements like ocean's calming waves. Like a baptism, my soul she saves. She takes no payment for her dances. Her sole reward, my smiling glances. Her dance reminds me of mountain highs, seas of such blue, colored twilight skies where sunsets blaze in volcanic guise, slowly replaced by stars' twinkling eyes. And this is where you all get up and dance. I surge my car forward, she responds. A flash of thigh beneath leafy fronds. Her eyes invite me to share her smile that will never fade. Mile after mile, this hula girl, brought from island fair, adorns my dashboard. Reminds me of another time and another there. If anybody thought I was talking about anything else, shame on you. So one of the things I teach in my playwriting class, by the way, is to look at personal ads and see how you can write them for a character. And so looking at personal ads is always a lot of fun. One of the phrases I kept finding a lot was last first kiss. I want to have my last first kiss. And I thought, what a really cool idea for a poem. But I put a twist on it. So here it is. Last first kiss. I did not think my last first kiss would be the Lady Death. A kiss so sweet like bitter fruit, it took away my breath. I lie inside autumnal woods, a burial shroud of leaves. No thought of life, no thought at all, no memory longer weaves. The scales of wings, nocturnal moths wall up my eyelids tight. My coffin naught but mound of earth to block all rays of light. But time does pass, but not for me, my flesh yields to decay. And so collapse this mortal shell to sagging ashen gray. As I am dust, to dust return, to feed the root and bark. A canopy above my grave stands as the only mark. And that's the last first kiss. Scary ending there. Anyway, we've come to the end of the show. Thank you for joining me here in hanging out online and reading some poems. If you have any comments, please give them. If you want to see me do this again, please tell me. Once again, any tips I receive go to the Westmoreland County Food Bank. So send that along to 4acropolis@gmail. Address, I assume, is in the announcement. We've come to the end of the show. I'm going to take one last drink of water. And this one is called Echo Ever After, about spending the rest of your life with someone you love. So, Echo Ever After. So many years ago, well, not so many, together we planted a single rose and let it grow a garden all around us. We stand hand in hand inside it today. The garden didn't always grow as planned. Some seeds that never took to root, some plants that withered on the vine, storms that made us run for cover. But a path for us to walk was always there. We look back and see it clearly now. It seems everything has its season. It seems everything happens for a reason. Birds drink from the fountain, a fountain filled with tears of laughter. Tears of laughter, joy, and love, and tender thoughts that echo ever after. The water fills a reflecting pool. Are those ripples or wrinkles? Sun and care and time have ripened us. Have they made us wiser fools? Our castle walls are not without their cracks. Our garden has its thistles and its thorns. The vines threaten yearly to smother all that we built, all that we have. But they yield to our gardening hands, tending to the growth as best we can. Time, wind, and weather smooth the stone. We know this belongs to us, and to us alone. We walk the path, barefooted, slowed by pebbles, thistles, and thorns. We make our way more cautious now, but it's easier when walking hand in hand. And if we're talking about amazing gardeners, Joyce Graham. I should have dedicated that to you before I did it, but I also had that. Messed up the beginning. None of you noticed that. I shouldn't even have mentioned it, but thank you all for joining me here once again. Any tips I get tonight, go to the Westmoreland County Food Bank. I hope you enjoyed it. Message me, put something in the comments, watch it again if you missed the beginning. I'll do this again sometime, perhaps pull out some other poems of mine. And thanks for joining me. Stay safe. Don't go near people unless you've been around them for a while. And we're all going to get through this together. Social distancing is a bad term because we got to keep being more social in whatever way technology allows us. So take care, everybody. Be well, be safe, and I'll hope I see you again. Good night.